Welcome back, friends, to the new homestead. We are back after taking a week off. You know, I woke up, I think it was last Tuesday morning, and the smoke was so bad from all the wildland fires that I felt like I was going to have a heart attack. I told Mrs. W, I said, have everything ready in an hour. We're out of here. We're heading to the beach and just get out of the smoke for a while. And that's what we did. So we just got back. And still a little bit smoky here, but nothing like it was before. I can easily see the mountain up there to the north, and we are back in, in production here full time. I can't remember the last time I took so many days off without producing content. I don't know if I've done that in a decade or better, but we're back now. So in today's video, I got a couple fun things with you. I get to show you for the very first time the new commercial property that we bought that, Lord willing, will be the future Wranglerstar Community Center. What does that mean? Well, a place that we can hold events, that we can do workshops, saw filing shops, bring in experts, just have a place where we can share education and get together. And it's not far from here, only just a mile or so down the road. So we'll jump in the quad and I'll take you down there and show you that place for the very first time. Also, the select deck came in for the all the walls of the new shop/sound stage, and that is just beautiful. Actually, let's go over there and take a look at that now, and then we'll head over to the future site of the community center. Let's take a look at this. We're actually seeing it together for the first time. I custom ordered this from Home Depot. This is premium Douglas fir select deck tongue and groove. My goodness, that is gonna be beautiful, beautiful. So this is, actually they use it for decking, for floors. A lot of places where you want to have maybe like an open floor plan where you have a balcony that has an exposed floor that's a high quality. They hand select all the pieces there. That's what they call it, select. And it's also kiln dried so it won't shrink up. This is going to be the backdrop of all the shop. Nice full 2x6s, so we'll be able to mount all of our stuff on there. And that is enough to cover basically the big 1.5 of the walls, or the area that just before we did the wall framing. So we'll pick that with the forklift, bring that in, and then get started on that, putting that up on the next video. These are 12 feet long, and that will be the wall height. That's why we made those walls so tall. So let's jump over in the quad and head over to the the future home of hopefully the community center. All right, you guys ready to head over? It's so close, we'll be able to just go back and forth with the quads. Well, this is it. It's so wooded that I can't even drive into it. I see a lot of forest clearing in our future. Mrs. W and I were talking, I'm gonna flip my screen around, make sure I'm in frame here. Mrs. W and I were talking, it might be kind of a fun project this fall to have some of you guys come out, some of the folks that maybe came out for our 1 million subscriber party, if that'd be something to be interesting to you. But we want to take this standard timber here. It's not a big lot, it's only a couple acres, but the important thing is that it's commercial, so that we can do a community center. We can be all on the up and up legal. We can do anything we wanted to. We could put a restaurant in here, laundromat, you name it, lots of different options. So first thing I want to do is, and I'll walk you through here, is go through, and it's got beautiful, it's just covered with pine, beautiful mountain view to the north here, close to town. So what we'd like to do is to basically get a small road in, some little pull outs, so that if we had friends that wanted to pull their vans or campers or RVs in, get that all established, kind of a central area, kind of a meeting area, and then start kind of laying out what the future building will be. But the first thing will be is to clear everything, and this is where we're going to get our firewood for our home here. There's a lot of these trees that need to come down. So let's do a quick walkthrough, and then we'll talk about that opportunity to get together and maybe do some forestry work at the end of the video. I'll show you the four corners. This is I guess we'll call this the northwestern corner right here. As you can see, it's got some just beautiful, just covered with pines. It's got a few Dougs in there, but mostly ponderosa pines. And some of the biggest ones up here, maybe 24 inches, probably the majority of them around 12 inches or so in diameter. So I'm going to go through here and do a mini cruise and select the most healthy of the trees, the ones that are the largest. I really want to take as few as possible. I want to, when we're in here and hanging out, I want it to be as park-like as possible. We'll limb things up. We'll get everything cut down. We'll just be as we'll try not to be very invasive, and just make it like in a place where you just feel you feel comfortable, and there's nothing. You just can't replace the big trees when you cut them down. So I'm going to be very careful with not take too many. We have neighbors to the right and left, to the north and south. To the north is the volunteer fire department, which is of course a great neighbor. And I'm looking forward to meeting those guys. I haven't decided if I'm going to get involved with that or not. I'll have to really take a look at time, what I want to accomplish, and I don't want to do it unless I can do a good job. And then there's a small house over there to the left, but we'll probably fence the perimeter on that side so it protects their privacy. Let's take a look at the southwestern side. This, of course, is the southwestern corner right here. Just some really beautiful trees. Trees just grow so well here. You know, we're not too far from the original homestead, but the climate here is so different. You know, we're in a transitional forest. We're on that east slope of the Cascade Range where you get sunshine all the time and a little bit of slop over from the Pacific, the rainy weather from Portland and Seattle, but usually sunny. It's just that perfect transitional spot. It's very narrow, but it's the climate that I really like. This is one of the coldest places in the Pacific Northwest, as well as one of the places that gets the most snow, and that's kind of a result of its proximity to the big mountain, right? So let's head over to the southwestern corner. This here is the southwestern corner. It's getting woolly in here. As my granddad used to say, it's thicker than dog hair. This ponderosa, all tightly grouped like this, and a lot of stuff down and dead on the ground, is bread and butter for wildland fire. So we're going to want to deal with this and get this sorted straight away. All it would take is someone dragging a chain this time of year, get a fire in here, and we could lose all of this timber. So this is kind of a high priority for me to get this cleaned up and fire safe. I just stumbled across the test pit for the septic system. It's pre-approved for standard septic system. That was my job for a long time. I put in hundreds of septic systems and sand filters and commercial and residential, all sorts of them. But the reason for these pits like this is before you can get approved to put a standard septic system in, now these are for places that don't have access to sewers, you dig a trench, usually 3 or 4 foot deep, and then your local soil scientist will come out and kind of look at the strata, and decide whether or not that will perk properly, meaning will the soil drain properly to use a standard septic system. So you'll see those on properties that are about ready to be developed. Discovered a pretty nice zip line on the property. It looks like the locals were taking advantage of an empty lot next door to it, and bless them, they did it properly. They put blocked 2x4 blocks around the tree so that the cable didn't damage the tree. That was cool of them. We'll leave that as long as possible, but eventually that's going to have to go down because this is where the main building is probably going to be. And finally, the northeast corner, little broadleaf deciduous there. This is more of the same. Lots of timber, or lots of nice pine, and just ready for clearing. So the basic shape of it, imagine a slice of pie where it comes to a point, rather than it coming to a point, being just under 100 feet wide or so on the front, and then tapering to the backside at just under 300 feet. So kind of that shape, roughly 2 acres or so, perfectly flat. Now the central area, I'll take you here in the middle, we'll finish up, is relatively free of trees and going to be a nice place for kind of a hangout area. That would be a place for tables and for enjoying banquets and, you know, just getting together around a fire pit and that sort of thing. Let's finish up and I'll show you the interior. And this here is the central or the middle area. It's almost as if God knew what we have need of before we even ask. It's all open, trees around the perimeter. Perfect for am I focused here? Make sure that focus there. perfect for gathering. We can have the fire pit, maybe a little a central area, basic kind of small amphitheater thing, place that we could have potlucks or get together and mini Oktoberfest. We plan on having a tradition of doing an Oktoberfest. Mrs. W and I are working out those details, whether that be here at our place, I don't know, but we got to get a tent, build the traditional benches. We're just so excited. You know, one of the things that one of the number one thing for us with these properties is that this hasn't been bought for us just to keep it to ourselves. That's the reason why we came here. The reason why we picked up and moved after a decade of building our homestead is we really felt the importance of community and getting together and sharing what we have, sharing what we've been blessed with. And when we talked about it, to do it legally, we had to have that commercial property. And also, not only that, we need to it's so exhausting to do this sort of thing. And when you're entertaining big groups of people, you want to be sure you have a refuge, and that this separates those meeting areas from our home. We'll always have our home to go to that will be our refuge in a crazy world, right? So that's some of the reasons. Regarding the clearing the land, I thought, you know what might be kind of fun is if we had some help. If there's some of you guys that we've met or you've been out, you guys have my email. If you'd be interested to come out and bring your saws and power tools and your families and come out and we could cut firewood and we could do some basic forestry stuff. Might be kind of fun to do it all with the traditional tools, right? Get the crosscut saws out and the axes and such and build the the firewood circles. And if I have to do it by myself, of course, I'm going to use power tools, right? Because I'm only one man. I can only do so much. But let me know in the comments or send me emails. You guys know if you've been to the 1,000 subscriber or million subscriber party, you have our email. If that'd be something you'd like to come out and do, it's one of my favorite things to do in fall, and maybe we can get it scheduled so it's just outside the burn ban. We can have a nice fire in the center, and there's going to be a little bit more traffic noise here because we're in town, but that's the way it is. That's what it takes for commercial property. We're in real close proximity to the small local town here. So that's probably it. I'm so excited about these projects. I had, taking the week off was really nice. It gave me time to kind of recoup. My shoulder's feeling a lot better, and just mentally putting all this stuff together and splitting the land and buying and selling properties, it really has taken its toll on us. And then the firewood smoke or the wildland fire smoke and all that, Mrs. W and I were just exhausted. So we got to go to the beach and just not do hardly anything for a few days, and it was good for us. So I feel really invigorated, and I'm so excited to get these projects off the ground. And I just can't even tell you. I feel like I have a purpose in life that is worth doing. So thanks for watching. Please keep us in your prayers. May God bless you and your families, and we'll see you all on the next video.
Every night I saw you there in your old wicked chest.